glory's sake, for vengeance sake, war!
If you're in our voices, it means it's time for It's This Meets That podcast, where you watch the worst movies from trailer to end credits, scene by scene, so you don't have to, but maybe you should. I'm Russ.
I'm Jared.
It's like one of the many, like, speeches and like rally calls. Rally calls in this movie. Oh my god, stitched together with duct tape and speeches.
That's right. Something saying words that don't mean anything.
Yeah. You're like, wait, should you be what? Oh my goodness. So we're back with the full breakdown of 300 Rise of an Empire for our 300th, our rally to episode 299. Yeah, our rally to 300. Two of us underdogs. War. Just surviving in the podcast. See.
That's right. Podcasting is like a war. I always say that to people.
That's
how I relate to veterans. Usually.
Yeah. Right. Yes. I get what you've gone through. I podcast. Just like going to war.
It's exactly the same.
For the troops. Yeah, for the troops. Wait.
Just like why we podcast.
Exactly. All right, so here we are. We're back. Part 1, 300 Rise of an Empire, the sequel to 300. Came out in 2014.
There was one.
Yeah, I forgot. Came out in 2014. Do you want to do what's this one and recap?
Yeah. I'll remind people what the premise is here. So this time I have a little practice on my Greek.
Nice. It's all yoga,
Greek
baby.
general Themistocles
of
Athens leads the naval charge against invading Persian forces. Oh, this is gonna be rough.
Oh boy. Yep.
Led by mortal turned god Xerxes and Artemisia, vengeful commander of the Persian navy.
Yeah, I mean,
Hate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hate it so much. I thought they were going to make a way bigger deal about that mortal turned god bit, but
yeah, they didn't really.
That seems cool.
Yeah, right. And they
make a movie about that.
Yeah, they didn't. You're ameliorating already.
You're right.
It's too soon. You have a whole another episode to go. How did we do for our? So we were still pretty close. I think we said it was going to be a documentary about making boats.
I think we were pretty close.
We were pretty close. I mean, a lot of ships in this movie, obviously, because it's Navy stuff. But yeah. Yep. So I'm going to call this one a win. Our prognostication.
Yep. We were right again.
Yes. It's a historical document about shipbuilding.
That's right. That's right. Yep. If you want to learn anything about ships, watch this movie.
Loosely based on actual events. Kind of like 211.
I love how we set the exactly right. I love how we set the bar at 30%, and every time we do a movie that's above 30%, it's still pretty bad.
I'm like, should we raise our bar to 50%? Maybe. Should we have a wider?
I'm sure we won't like it.
No, guaranteed. Okay, so you want some quick info here?
Please.
All right, so this was directed by Noam Murrow.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. He's not done a lot of stuff. A couple commercials, Wrigley Orbit Gum commercial. He's directed only 2 feature-length movies, and this is one of them.
Huh.
The other one was Smart People back in 2008, and between there he did some shorts, Halo Reach short. He did an Audi Super Bowl commercial, a couple music videos. Yeah, so
interesting.
Not a lot of stuff here.
A Sam Smith music video?
Yeah. Yep.
Weird.
Yeah.
What a world.
What a world we live in, right? It just gives us hope.
Let's do.
It just gives us hope that someday someone will tap us, the ITMT duo, to direct a movie. So.
Oh, for sure. For sure. You did one of the Dirty Mouth Orbit Gum commercials. Nice.
If you need a couple of directors who rely heavily on CG, basically a whole other team to make the picture happen, and
that's right,
just to copy someone else's style entirely, we're your guys.
We both have incredibly strong opinions, so I'm sure we'll be very easy to work with.
It's very easy to work with. So that's Noam. So Noam, screenwriters, Snack Snyder was involved in the screenplay of this, and Kurt Johnstad. That name should be familiar. He is
It's not.
Enemy of the pod, I think, with Snack Snyder. He's Snack Snyder's buddy. So,
okay.
Yeah, because he did original 300 Act of Valor, this, and Atomic Blonde, and then our favorite
Rebel
movie.
Moons.
Yeah, the Rebel Moons. Yeah, the Rebel Mooners. So
I saw that I just saw, as we record this yesterday, there's like more news about like, they're like, oh, actually, there's even more bonus content from Rebel Moon. Beyond the Snyder cut.
Someone tried to tell me that the movie was fun, and I just stared them down, and I was like, I'm not gonna embarrass them live here.
Do they listen to the pod?
No. So
great. Well, then
they're like, it was kind of fun. It was those movies you could just shut your brain off and kind of watch. I'm like, still wasn't fun.
Yeah, I couldn't shut my brain off. I had to take notes.
So bad. So who's in this one? A bunch of people. So we get Sullivan Stapleton plays them testicles.
Related to Chris?
Don't think so. This guy's Australian or New Zealand or something like that. Eva Green, who plays Artemisia, she was probably the best in this movie.
That's generous.
Yeah.
But no, you're right.
Yeah. Rodrigo Santoro plays Xerxes. Rodrigo Santoro
before and after the transformation?
Yes. So yes.
That was the same guy?
Same guy. Yeah. And furthermore, just so you know, he was in Westworld. Yeah. He's been in a bunch of stuff.
I haven't seen that somehow.
Yeah, first season's great. You should watch that.
I've heard good things.
Lena Headey, she plays Queen Gorgo. She plays Cersei from Game of Thrones, which we talked about. Hans Matheson.
What a bad name.
I know, Gorgo. Imagine that being like, I'm Queen Gorgo. I can't take you seriously.
Yeah, I'd be like, sorry, Queen, what?
I'm sorry, what'd you say? Hans Matheson plays Ace. Oh, man. How do you do this one?
Sikolos.
Sikolos?
Yeah,
Escalos. Maybe Escalos. Escleos.
Yeah, Greek listeners, let us know.
Yeah, let us know how much we butchered that one. Thank God he's not in this movie too much. I don't have to say his name too much.
Who even is that?
That's them's testicles' little sidekick buddy there with the mustache, with the facial hair.
Oh, the dad, right?
Not the dad. No, not the dad. The other guy who lives towards the end, and he's like, "Yeah, we've been in many battles together, buddy."
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I just called the other characters Daddy and Son.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I did too. Callan Mulvey plays Silius. That's the dad. I think Silius is the dad.
That's Daddy. Okay.
Yeah, that's Daddy.
Got it.
David Wenham plays Dilios. What a funny name, Dilios.
Yeah. Greek.
If it doesn't end in os, I don't want to hear about it. Jack O'Connell plays Callisto. I'm trying to remember. Oh, that was the son. So yeah, Silius and Callisto. Callisto is the son of Silius.
Okay. Yep.
Stephen Cree plays decapitated Greek Marine.
Okay. Now I was gonna
imagine that your headshot is your scene is literally just to be a head.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, that's a good gig, dude.
Right?
If you can get it, good work.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, should we make a little agreement to ourselves here that the only characters with names are Themistocles, Artemisia, Xerxes, and Leonidas when we talk about them?
Yes.
Briefly.
Yes.
Otherwise, we got Daddy and Son, sidekick number 2.
Yeah, side bro number 2. Daddy.
Nobody else is important.
No one else is important. I'm not saying these names all movie, all cast episode.
Perfect.
Some numbers. So
yeah, what do we got?
This movie made worldwide $330,780,051.
What?
Yeah.
How? That's so much money.
I know.
How long?
That's
I thought this was like it wasn't a direct to video, right? It went actually. It must have been in theater.
Yeah. This stuff was in theaters.
That's like almost 85,000 for that.
Holy shnikes!
Unbelievable. Maybe one of the more bigger box office takes that we've done. I think, right?
Yeah, definitely. Domestic did 106 million, 224 international. Video another 35, just under 35 million in video, Blu-ray, and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Who saw this and then wanted to buy it after?
I don't know. Like hardcore Persian War fans. I don't know. Like based on a very highly fictionalized version of what was going on in that time.
I must own this movie.
Yeah, it's a historical document.
Right. Shipbuilding documentary.
Right. On a budget of 110 million.
Oh, super profitable.
Very. Wow. Even if that's just a production budget and you throw into marketing was 160, 150 million total spent. Yeah. Right.
Wild. And why didn't they make a third one?
Well, there were plans to make a bunch of them, so we'll get to that in Fast Facts.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why. Probably because, I don't know, I was going to say because of the backlash, because the history's not right, but I don't think that would be like Hollywood gives a shit about it. Like Hollywood gives a shit.
Yeah, that's what always stops Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
Guys, you know what? I think we strayed a little too far from the truth on this one.
Kind of paints the Persians in a bad light.
Yeah. The United States famously loves the Persians. We're not always sanctioning those guys.
So definitely a moneymaker, definitely sequel worthy, but
incredible.
Rotten Tomatoes 45% critical, 51% audience. That's pretty close. That's pretty close audience and critics.
I was gonna say, rare that they're so aligned. Everyone said, toss up.
Yeah.
See it or don't.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, 2014. Yeah. I'm trying to think, and I think Mad Max Fury Road came out the next year. So you had like a lot of these highly stylized CG movies coming out.
That long ago?
Oh, yeah.
It feels like yesterday.
I know, right?
I guess the last 4 years have kind of felt quick.
Yeah.
So 4 out of 10.
Weirdly, painfully slow, but once we got out of it, it felt like that just disappeared, right?
Yep.
So yeah. You want some fast facts?
Back me, Daddy.
I got quite a few here and a lot of Greek words, so bear with me, okay?
Great.
Great. Yeah, great.
One for all of us.
Yeah, well, we'll see. If I get frustrated, I might just skip it.
Asikilos.
This is a prequelos and a sequelos and a midquelos to the movie 300. That's the first fast fact, actually. The film is a prequel, midquel, and a sequel to 300, which came out in 2006.
Listeners, Russ started watching this movie the other day and texted me and was like, is this a prequel? And I was like, no way, dude. I don't think so. It's a sequel. And then Googled it immediately, and Wikipedia says, this movie takes place before, during, and after the events of 300. And I'm like, you can't do that.
Yeah, let's really confuse our audience.
It's not how movies work.
Like, you can do it, but if it's in better hands to actually structure that correctly, right? Like, this movie is just like...
Like, what other movies have you seen where the second one is just like takes place at the same time, basically? Like none.
No, I'm like thinking of like big franchise stuff here. Star Wars, right? No, Star Wars doesn't do that.
No, pretty linear. Yeah,
pretty linear. No, Godfather.
You can't.
No, you're not supposed to do this. Come on, this is how you confuse your audience immediately.
Put it in the first movie.
Yeah, right.
It's Zack Snyder. Make it an extra hour.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Has that ever stopped you? Like, do 300 uncut and then re-release it, you know?
Yeah. Stupid.
The original script featured King Leonidas from 300, Jerry G. Butts, but he was ultimately cut out. This is due to Gerard Butler there, who turned down to reprise his role as Leonidas since it was, quote unquote, wasn't really his thing. Sorry, the way that was written was very poorly.
Yeah, but still, just not really my bag. You guys go do that one. I mean,
2014 Jerry Butts. I mean, he was peak of his, you know.
Is he rom-comming then?
That's a great question.
What was Jerry Butts doing in 2014 instead?
Yeah, it's great. I'm glad you asked that. Gerard Butler. I feel like he was probably doing a movie that we were making, not fun of, that we were dissecting.
I was thinking it might have been that one where he's in the prison.
20. Let's see. So 20. So he did 2013. He did Olympus Has Fallen, which was kind of a big action movie. How to Train Your Dragon 2 in 2014. Gods of Egypt in 2016, which is on our list now. Gods of Egypt, 14%. So stay tuned for that.
Seems like it's basically this movie.
I was basically.
Huh.
Yeah. London Has Fallen and Family Man. That was all in like the 2013 to 2016 range. So
he was doing nothing.
Well, like Olympus Has Fallen, How to Train Your Dragon 2. Yeah, he could have done this, but
I guess so.
Yeah. I don't know.
He had time.
Yeah.
I was like, actually, I'm on a kids movie kick right now.
So this next one's gonna be this is gonna be a first, I think, where we're gonna have a location as a friend of the pod. Yeah, you ready for this?
Great. Yeah.
Principal photography commenced in early July 2012 at the new Bojana Film Studios in Sofia, Bulgaria.
No kidding.
Yeah.
We did back-to-back Bulgarias?
Yeah, back-to-back Bulgarias, buddy.
Nice. All right.
Bulgaria bros.
Let's go.
Let's go, Bulgaria bros.
Bulgaria really on the up and up in the mid 2015 era.
Yeah. So Bulgaria not only stands in for Massachusetts, it also stands in for CG Greekland. Okay.
CG Greek Ocean, Mediterranean.
Mediterranean, please. Let's get this. Come on.
A C, sorry.
Yes. Because of the complicated effects involved in making Xerxes a 10-foot giant, which when he stepped up next to Artemisia, I was like, why is he 10 feet tall? Why is he so tall?
That's what happens when he turns into a god.
That's right. You get taller. Rodrigo Santoro filmed almost all of his scenes alone in a green screen room and had little to no interaction with the rest of the cast. He said it was difficult, but he got used to it as he had also done it on the first film because he was.
I was going to say, isn't that what they did in the first one?
Yeah. People say the stupid things, you know?
It was really hard.
But I had already done it. So it actually wasn't that hard the second time around.
Yeah. Wait, so is that guy famous?
Yeah, it's Rodrigo Santoro. We already talked about that. Yeah, he was in Westworld, and he's been in...
like, what else besides Westworld? Because you said that's the only thing we know him from. And he looks familiar to me, too.
Well, he was original in 300. And then Westworld was kind of, I think, the thing that maybe really put him on the map.
I feel like I've seen him in a rom-com or something, but maybe not.
Probably has. Rio 2, Rio I Love You, Focus. That was a Will Smith movie, I believe. 300 Rise of the Empire. What to expect
when you're expecting? Maybe that's it.
Yeah. So he's been in a lot of stuff, but There Be Dragons.
He's got one of those faces. He reminds me of, he looks to me like the guy from all of those Netflix, like, scary things that they do now.
You know how we know?
Oh, from the pod?
He was in Love Actually.
No kidding.
Yep.
All right.
There you go.
Friend of the pod.
Charlie's Angels, Full Throttle. So yeah, he's been around.
Okay. Thank you. I had to know.
I think he's also I think he is in those like recent they came out maybe like last year, 2 years ago. He's in some phone company commercials that keep popping up.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like
Mint Mobile or something.
Yeah, something like that. I was like, wait a second, that's the guy from Westworld. So, yeah.
Wow, learning so much today.
What a
great day! What a great day!
I know, great day, great time. Okay, so moving on. So Rodrigo,
I got to slow down the fast facts as well.
Yes, thank you, because there's so many. So Rodrigo Santoro, speaking of him, spent 6 hours in the makeup chair every single day to morph into his character. Even after the makeup was done, he couldn't move because of all of the jewelry and piercing that he was wearing was very delicate and would break if he moved around a lot.
That makes sense.
Switch over to them testicles here. Sullivan Stapleton signed on not just for this film, but for a potential sequel as well.
Oh, okay.
Director Noam Murrow has also expressed that this film leaves the door open for a third part.
I mean, it does. The ending is ridiculous.
Yep, it's pretty stupid. The large part of the film takes place on water and boats, ships. The film was filmed completely, quote unquote, dry with all the water digitally added later. Director Noam Murrow said this allowed great freedom in filming.
Oh my God.
Yeah, these are not great.
Guys, this is a dry set. Everyone's dry set.
No,
it doesn't mean what you think it means.
No water allowed. At around the 1 hour, 19 minutes mark, the line, "Better we show them we choose to die on our feet rather than live on our knees," is a paraphrase of a rallying cry of the beloved Mexican general Emiliano Zapata during the Mexican Revolution of the 1910s.
Yeah, I knew that, and I'm glad that you had that as a fast fact, because I was going to, and then immediately forgot to look up. I was like, wait a second, I know that quote. That's not this guy.
No, not at all. It came much later. In reality, Sparta was a land power, and the Spartan navy at the time of the Persian Wars was feeble. Sparta only contributed 16 ships to the combined fleet at the Battle of Salamis. The closest,
pretty funny. I was hoping we were going to do that.
Yeah, Salamis. The closest naval rivals to Athens at this time would have been Corinth, Megara, and Chalcis. Chalcis. Chalcis.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, I'm going with it. It's either
Why would you put
Chalcis
CH together?
I don't know. Chalcis or Chalcis. So,
okay.
yeah. This film is credited as being, this is an important part here for the future of the 300 franchise. The film is credited as being an adaptation of Frank Miller's graphic novel Xerxes. However, is an adaptation in name only. The script was written at the same time as the novel and not after the novel was finished, so ultimately the two are different. Who writes these? Why is it so worded so stupidly? In fact, as of the film's release date, the novel was not even complete, and Miller had reportedly drawn only 2 out of a projected 5 issues, and drawn only 2 out of 5 projected 5 issues, and none had been colored. The book was finally released in 2018 as Xerxes: The Fall of the House of Darius and the Rise of Alexander. What a title for a graphic novel. Settle down.
Ranky baby.
Yeah. So there's that. Tied to that, I'm going to skip down because it's kind of connected here. The film was previously called Xerxes, the title of the Frank Miller graphic novel on which the film is based, and later 300, The Battle of Artemisia, the title used during filming.
Yeah.
Why do people write like this? Ultimately, the present title, 300, Rise of an Empire, was used because the other 2 were deemed too exotic.
Huh.
People wouldn't get it. They'd be like, Xerxes, who's that? Yeah.
But he's, I hate that. They should have leaned into, I wanted more Xerxes.
More Xerxes, yeah.
More Xerxes, I say. The other interesting thing, historically speaking, as we know, this is a definitive historical.
Yeah, it's like 211. It's loosely based on actual events.
Yeah. Because Artemisia is not, is not like who the movie made her. No, she's a queen.
She's a queen
in history.
Yeah. I don't think she wasn't even in this area or something like that. I think I read a little bit about that.
No, she was at the battle for sure.
She was, okay.
and she was an ally of Xerxes, but not like
this.
Not like a servant.
Highly fictionalized version of her, and I think there was no her history was not what they described it as. So
I can't wait till we get there. I hate that scene.
It's so annoying.
Stupid. Yeah. Anyway,
there's other ways to give female characters motivation in a movie. Doesn't have to be the same effing thing every single time. Men writers out there, listen to that. So we're talking 6-pack ab. We're talking 6-packs, right? Abs.
Yeah, we were definitely talking 6-packs.
You got to talk about abs when you're talking about 300. Sullivan Stapleton said he was extremely skeptical when he was cast whether he would be able to build the requisite 6-pack for the role. He thought some people naturally had it and some people didn't, and he was one of the latter group. But once he went through the training, he got 6-pack abs himself and said he was pleased to realize that anybody could develop them with the proper training, and he reportedly adopted a diet of almost 100% yogurt for the duration of the shoot to maintain it.
Just ate yogurt?
Yeah, just yogurt. Stick to that Greek yogurt.
Good fast fact.
Chobani.
Yeah. I'm eating oikos for
the entire
nothing for 2 months.
Yeah, that's very method. Getting into the
yeah, sponsored by Oikos.
Okay, and this is where I'm going to start saying things wrong here. So the character Aeschylus is an alternative. It's an alternative spelling of Aeschylus. Yeah, I think that's right. Aeschylus.
Yeah, those are totally different words.
Yeah, los and lus. That's the difference. So he was a famous Greek tragedian. Yeah. Tragedian. Yeah. Who served at Salamis, and later wrote The Persians, a play that was actually sympathetic to the Persians and attributed their defeat to the hubris of Xerxes. In the play, Darius's ghost appears and reprimands his son's decision to build a bridge over the Hellespont, which angered the gods. This parallels Darius's warning in the film that only the gods can defeat the Greeks and to leave them alone.
Oh, huh.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yep.
I like that one. Good job.
We're close here. So at around 13 minutes, an Athenian refers to Spartans as muscle-bound boy lovers, reversing a humorous insult from 300, which became one of the movie's more famous lines. I don't remember the line.
We don't know what that one was?
No, I didn't look it up. I should have done that. Damn it. That's called...
Incredible.
That's called going that extra step.
Yeah, that's called setting the fan service trap, listeners.
Aha, gotcha. You know what to do.
What was that line?
This is a funny one. I don't know how much I believe this, but it's Hollywood. Who knows? In order to make Rodrigo Santoro Xerxes' voice dramatic enough for the role, they combined his voice, a purposely broken dishwasher, and a lion's growl.
Excuse me?
You know?
The dishwasher god king.
You know, that's a Foley artist just getting to this point. He's like, yeah, I get to come over. A sound design guy being like, yeah, I'll come up with something cool.
I didn't like it in 300 and I didn't like it in this movie. Whatever they did to his voice.
Yeah,
well, now I know.
Yeah, now you know. Broken dishwasher. No one wants a broken dishwasher.
No, it sounds horrible. It sounds like it reminds me of calling a repair guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, why does the sound bother me so much?
Yeah.
I have this sudden urge to go check on my appliances.
Last one. In an interview, this is the 300 universe could blow up here.
Okay.
In an interview with
10 years later.
Yeah, with our boy Snack Snyder. Well, I mean, the first movie came out in 2006, 8 years later for this. So we're right about the point where we're going to get more 300. So
yeah, I guess you're right.
Snack Snyder stated that possible sequels to 300 could go beyond Greece. We're going beyond Greece because we know all these other wars only had moments of 300 guys taking down something, right?
Oh, no.
To the American Revolutionary War and to a battle in China.
Snack Snyder.
We don't need those. Don't.
What's the Tom Cruise movie in China? That's what I'm imagining we get.
No, you're thinking Matt Damon. The Great Wall.
The Great Wall. Thank you.
What's the name of that movie that they did in China? The Great Wall.
The Great Wall. That's right. With the aliens.
I think there was dragons in it.
I forgot about that movie. That movie was awesome.
I didn't see it. So
yes, you did. We did it on the. Did we do it on the podcast?
Which one?
What's the Great Wall one that we did on the podcast with the aliens?
We didn't.
It wasn't the Matt Damon movie.
No. Oh yeah, we didn't.
We did it. We did some Great Wall movie, didn't we, listeners?
Oh boy.
300 episodes in, I can't possibly remember them all.
Yeah, I mean,
we definitely did one. Didn't it have Nicolas Cage in it?
Oh, was it Jiu-Jitsu?
No, not Jiu-Jitsu. Wait, maybe Jiu-Jitsu?
I think
was
it
that
was.
The plot of Jiu-Jitsu?
I think it was. Yes, there was an alien in Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, I know that, but they weren't like. I have this memory of like dragon aliens like climbing walls. Was that the Great Wall?
I think it was.
Am I just thinking of the Great Wall?
I think you're thinking the Great Wall.
And we didn't do that movie.
No, for some reason, probably because we didn't want to get into all the, why is Matt Damon here?
Yeah. Oh, it's 35% on Rotten Tomatoes. Maybe
that's why. Right. Yeah, we're doing a movie that's 45%. So.
Oh, no, I'm tired.
Okay. Are you done? Are you good? Do we need to okay.
No. We'll let the listeners have that one.
Yeah. That's all for you.
Yeah. I was gonna start looking for it, and I was like, I don't even know how I'll search for that in our archives.
I have no idea. I thought about putting a search thing in there, but I don't. No, it seems like
not worth it.
Not worth it. I was like, for these moments. We have a document that has all these movies listed, so it's like.
Oh yeah, it's findable. It's knowable. All these things are knowable.
But that's just come on. We're not that kind of podcast.
Who do you think we are?
We talk about movies in Fantasyland. What does it matter?
That's right.
So that's it for Fast Facts. Do you want to Hollywood pitch me, Mother Xerxes?
Yeah, totally. This is super well thought out.
I can't. So I love when we do this because I don't typically look at them before we get to this point.
Smart.
But I love when I scroll down and you're just about to start and I see them. I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Jared didn't get a lot of sleep last night.
That's right. So obviously, the Shawshank Redemption meets Jaws 2. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I see where this is going.
I bet you do.
At this point, 299 episodes later, I know where your head is at.
So Uh, for starters here, Shawshank Redemption, love that movie. Let me just get that out of the way.
Let's get it. Yeah, it's a great movie. Great movie.
I love it.
Yeah.
But just because you love something doesn't mean you can't critique it.
That's right.
And
that's how you set it free. That's how you set it free.
That's right. That's
critique it.
A little too much narration for my taste. Just like
this movie.
This movie. Way so much narration.
So much exposition, so much narration. So
maybe a third of the movie?
It's a lot.
Has Gorga talking over it?
The first 15 minutes, she's doing narration. 15
and then again
minutes of an hour and a half long movie. And then towards the end, and then in the middle.
Yep. Speaking of the length, this movie still too long. Despite the fact that it is pretty short, they could have cut a half an hour off it easily.
So much. Yeah.
And I don't think the graphic novel is particularly long, just like the source material for Shawshank Redemption is a novella. Like, that movie's way too long to be based on a novella. Yeah. Shawshank's like 2.5 hours, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty long. It's pretty long.
It's hefty.
It's weighty.
Yep. So Stephen King, smart. Keep it tight.
Keep it tight. Although he's known for keeping stories
incredibly long. It's the cocaine.
There's a direct correlation to cocaine and length of book.
That's right.
It doesn't need to be 1,000 pages long. Why is there an alien turtle from outer space? What's happening?
Yep, exactly. Those are the big ones. And then at the end, like, super set up for like there could be more story after this, right? Like, I want to see what Andy's doing. Yeah. Now that he's happy,
he's playing with the other toys.
Ended up happy at the end. Yeah, everyone ended up happy at the end.
Not the old guy. Well,
that's
maybe he did. Well, maybe
because he's red.
Yeah,
probably about that time.
There goes Andy.
But just like this movie, like kind of ends on a similar like, well, are you gonna finish the scene?
I was like, what a weird spot to end it. It's like,
yep,
okay, and scene. And cartoon credits.
Yep. So that's all I got for Shawshank.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. Nothing else.
I mean, you can go with like the okay. No. All right. Yeah. No.
If you want to help me, please.
No. You're good. Okay. Let's move along.
And a villain I kind of root for. I feel like the villain in Shawshank. I'm like, all right. Anyway, go on. Okay, so Jaws 2.
Not the
speaking of villains, I want
to
root for. He's misunderstood.
Just doing his job.
Just doing his job. He's just trying to get up and go to work, support his family.
These are prisoners. These are bad people.
That's right.
Tax fraud.
Presumably, most of them have done crimes. At least a handful of them have done crimes. But anyway, speaking of villains you love to love, Jaws 2.
Shark's back, baby.
Yep, the shark is back, baby. And just like this movie, I was like, you know what I want more of? The villain. Give me more Xerxes for 300.
Yeah.
That guy is cool.
Yeah, he's a god.
Jaws 2, more shark, more better, right?
More shark, more better. That's all you need. That's it.
I don't even have to say, both movies are pretty ocean-based.
Very ocean-based.
A lot of like sailing and whatever in Jaws 2. Super boring.
Yep. Super boring.
We're generally regarded as worse.
Yep.
Just like this one. And has a son disobeying his father to much disappointment and death.
Classic move.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe
Just
Jaws,
like this one.
Jaws 2, I think famously is also a prequel, midquel, and sequel all at the same time.
Actually, now that you say that, you're right. And I meant to say that too. Great point. Damn, I'm smart.
Yeah. Nailed it.
And I think that's it.
Okay.
Keep it tight.
That's fine. So I'm going with it's Magic Mike meets Fatal Attraction. Set during the Greco-Persian Wars.
course, of course.
I mean, Magic Mike is pretty obvious. We got just a lot of oiled up abs dudes, shirtless dudes.
Yep. Not enough magic.
Not a lot of magic, but they pull off some naval magic, though. I mean, they're still underdogs, and they pull off some magic there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, at the core of this movie, it's just bros helping bros when it comes down to it.
Well,
like
300 had some magic in like the mystical sense, and that's what I was hoping for. That they'd do more of in this one.
Yeah.
Like Magic Mike,
like Immortal Gods. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Bros helping bros. That's the core of this movie, right? Bros helping bros, right? Both are fictionalized versions of real events. Magic Mike is based on Channing Tatum's experience as a male stripper when he was 18 in Tampa.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. So that's that.
Okay.
Right.
Huh. I've heard that movie's good. I never saw it. Did you see it?
I did not, but I heard it was also good. So
weird.
Yeah.
I like Channing Tatum.
Yeah. Directed by Steven Soderbergh too. He's great. Did all the Oceans movies. So
weird.
So that's that for that one. Meets Fatal Attraction, 1980s flick with Glenn Close and Michael Douglas.
Yeah.
I don't know. You probably don't know that movie, but
I know Fatal Attraction. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Michael Douglas has an affair with Glenn Close's character. And
if you asked me what Michael Douglas looked like, I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Oh
but
my God, Jesus.
Or the other one that you just said.
He looks like Kirk Douglas.
Oh, that
younger version of Kirk Douglas.
Yeah. No, I know these are famous people that are in things. I just can't. Their faces are nothing to me.
That's fair. So that movie, I mean, the core of it again, it's about a relationship, really. And this movie too, it's about a fatal attraction. So that movie's got an arrogant dude. Them testicles is kind of arrogant in this movie.
Yep.
Right. Michael Douglas kind of arrogant to like
believing in democracy.
Yeah, he's an attorney who goes cheating on his wife. Like, you arrogant bastard, right? Both have a woman scorned / seeking revenge.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Artemisia, she's seeking revenge.
Pretty scorny.
And she's scorned when...
Super scorny.
Yeah, when them testicles is like, nah, I ain't joining you. She gets like...
Real scorny.
Real scorny. So scorny. The whole scene's very scorny. Both have a woman that will not be ignored.
Okay.
Right? Famous line from the movie. Yeah. And then both have the villain woman getting killed at the end.
Right. Great point.
Yeah. Glenn Close's character gets shot by the wife. And then, and this one, she gets stabbed by them testicles.
I mean, I haven't seen Fatal Attraction in a long time. Yeah. But it's also, that movie's, I feel like, gets remade in one way or another every year. Yeah.
It's like a Star is Born.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I've seen this one 3 or 4 times. Yep.
And that's it. I was going,
Great bitch. Keep it tight.
So. Yeah, keep it tight. So, all right, ready to break this thing down? We doing this?
More than anything. $2.99. Let's go.
Are we burning this thing down like Athens? Too soon?
Oh.
Too soon. All right.
That was like, what?
But that was BC.
2,500 years ago?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. It was a BC time. I don't know how to do. It's the scale, the time, the calendars go all different. Right?
Yeah, the calendars go all wonky.
Yeah, I don't think all wonky. I think they start counting up or down. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. When's the Battle of Salami?
Salami. All right, so we open up with some epic Warner Brothers logos here.
Like, what a collab. Is Legendary owned by Warner Brothers?
Yeah.
Are they like okay.
Yeah, like a subsidiary or whatever. So they're part of it. They do all the Christopher Nolan movies, Legendary Pictures. So
I was like, I know Legendary, and I always see it together with Warner Bros, but I wasn't sure if it was one of those. Like it's like a Sony Screen Gems kind of thing.
Yeah. It's definitely one of those. But yeah, the giant WB logo opening up to the Legendary doors.
Wow.
Which opened up to dead bodies on the ground. That's right. There he is.
From 300.
Yep. The end of 300. So this is, we see G Butts and his 299 bros laid out.
I wonder, was it 301 or?
I was thinking that too, because I think he said G Butts brought 300 soldiers. So it would be 300.
A crew of 300.
Yeah. So it's him plus 300. Yeah. So
plus the trader guy.
Yeah, right. So 302.
He's Greekish.
Yeah. So this movie, the numbers are wrong.
Lies.
Lies. And it's also from the trailer. We get Xerxes checking him out with his slow-mo axe. Oh, by the way, we should say, like the trailer, I think 90% of this movie is in slow-mo.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's more real time than I thought there would be.
Yeah.
Maybe it's only like 75% slow mo.
That tracks. So shot from the trailer, he got Xerxes slow-mo checking him out with his axe and then doing a slow-mo head chopping, takes that head, right?
Yeah.
You gotta make an example. You gotta make an example. Like
you gotta make an example.
That's what we're gonna do to our podcast enemies. We're gonna make examples of them. So
I got all these empty pikes.
Yeah.
What am I gonna put on them?
What am I gonna put on heads? Obviously.
Yeah. Listeners, you can't see it, but I'm looking at my window in my apartment building, and it's surrounded by empty pikes.
Yeah, empty pikes. Yes. Shall be the heads of our podcast enemies. Yes.
That's right, Zack Snyder. Ooh, is that kind of a threat?
Yeah, I think that is. Yeah.
I don't mean that. I don't mean that. Cut that.
Yeah, no. And then we cut to Xerxes holding G-Butts' head in front of a burning Athens, right? He's just like, it's pretty badass.
Looky,
everyone. Like, everyone, look at me. I've done something. Look at me. Everyone's like, dude, we're burning. And
everyone's like, dude, that guy's 10 feet tall. What?
Yeah. Why is he holding a head? What is happening?
What's that tiny little thing in his hand?
And then, so it cuts to immediately, and I think she starts the voiceover already, right? At this point?
Yep. She's like, this is the fall of Athens.
Queen Gorgo is starting the voiceover narration. The narration starts now, beginning of the movie, and goes for 15 minutes.
So long.
So much. So then, like, they cut. So we're in Athens. He's holding the head. And then we cut immediately to some topless woman being slow-mo dragged away. I was like, what? Why is this?
Right. Yeah.
I was like,
that was kind of jarring.
It was like,
that's how we're starting.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Coming in hot here. And then we get from the trailer, we get the slow-mo dude carving the boat out of wood shot, right?
Yep.
And then we get
like the only thing that could save the Greeks now was sturdy ships and a tidal wave of hero blood.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, cool. Why are you being so dramatic? And then going on about how the Persians, she's basically giving us an update of everything that's happening or going on, right? And she's like, how the Persians were going to fires will reduce Athens to cinder. And we're like, we know because we're watching that happen right now. Like,
yep. Show don't tell.
Yep. It's not that hard. Only Athenians exist. She's going on about this. Stout wooden ships, tidal wave of blood, yada, yada, yada.
Yep.
And then there's like a shot
I glossed over, I think, all of the narration.
That's okay. It's just exposition and just telling you, setting up where we are and what's going on right now. So it's
so unnecessary.
So unnecessary. And then we got three dudes pushing a giant ship into the water, and then we get our title card. We're 300 Rise of an Empire.
300. Just like we're about to be.
So close. 299. And then of course we're on a boat because this movie is a boat movie. That's a boat. That's right. Queen Gorgo, again, this is from the trailer. Narration's still going on, / cutting into her now doing the pep talk to her boys here on the ship.
Yeah.
Bunch of exposition about this stuff. Catching up if you've never seen 300 and you're coming to theater hot cold and you're like, 300 Rise of an Empire. Wow, that sounds like a sequel. Maybe I should watch the first one. But if I don't, there's 15 minutes of narration.
Not missing anything. I wonder how much of this was based on history of like the exposition she's doing at this point is basically talking about how like the 300 sacrificed themselves for the promise of Greece, which like they then go on to do in the movie and show that that's not the case.
Right.
Like they explicitly were 300 sacrificing themselves not for Greece, for Sparta.
For Sparta, yeah. Well, you know.
But I'm like, was the Battle of Salami like when they started solidifying the Greece as a collection of city states rather than? I wonder.
I don't know. Some historian out there, hit us up.
We know our audience is like 50% historians, 50% strippers, male strippers.
Yep, and 50%.
That's why we talk about Channing Tatum so much.
Yes. So yeah, this is just a big speech disguised. It's exposition disguised as a speech, kind of. Right. And then we go back in time, right?
Yep.
So she's telling this story to the guys on the ship here, and then this is when we bounce to the before time. The before time.
Yeah. Darius came to take their lands, and
I think we're in Marathon, right? Marathon. Here we are. Okay.
This is Marathon. Yeah.
So
which
much
they all pronounce weirdly the whole time.
Marathon.
Marathon. Are they saying marathon?
Yeah, just come on. Say how you see
You're Australian.
Yeah.
You don't go here.
So she's still going on exposition. Greeks are outnumbered. We got the shot from the trailer. Athenians doing the unthinkable. And then she's going into who's the architect of this attack, and it's them testicles, right?
Yep, Themistocles. He's and then apparently there's going to be a bloody battle. Surprise,
and there is.
Surprise.
And then it's just war.
This time it's mostly swords and axes. So that's fun.
That's fun. The CG blood looked comical. I don't remember 300 and how it looked in that. Was it
like this?
It was it was definitely obvious, comically.
I'm not even gonna blame Zack Snyder for that. I think that's a Frank Miller thing.
I think so too. Well, it's a graphic novel, right? So it's it's supposed to look a little graphic
super
novel.
Stylized.
Yeah. So whatever, that's fine. There's like slow-mo within slow-mo going on.
Yeah, you're like, wait a second, I thought this was slow. It's even slower.
Mower. And then there's like this chaotic shot with the camera in the war. I'm like, guys, Gladiator came out a couple years before. Just watch that movie to learn how to do a war scene.
Yep. There's also like 2 minutes of slow-mo horse.
I was just gonna say,
there's way too much horse in this scene.
There's like a slow-mo horse going up. You get a close-up in his eyes. I'm like, what? And he smashes someone's head or something. I'm like, what is happening?
For actually 2 minutes.
Because it's in slow-mo time, so.
Yep.
So Gorgo's still going on with narration about the Athenian idea, about democracy. Is it worth it? Yada, yada. Them's testicles. Right. He decides to take a shot at Darius here, who's on a ship within range.
I was like, oh, of course. Now this is when he's going to make eye contact with the king.
Right.
That just happens to be there in this super chaotic battle.
Yeah. So he takes a shot and he nails it. Arrow.
For democracy.
Right to the chest. Boom. Got him. Which is not factual at all.
I can't imagine.
I don't think that's how that went down, but
but they're setting up the villain here, right?
Right.
Because this is his whole this is his Batman's parents getting killed in the alley.
That's 100%. And
that's what I'm saying. Xerxes is the hero, I think. So they killed his dad.
It's true. Everyone's the hero of their own story. So
that's right.
So Xerxes, this is him before he's a god, mortal god guy. Before he gets the saw trap outfit, and he's like, "Oh no, Dad!" Slow-mo runs towards Dad.
Yeah,
and then they have
testicles would regret this moment the rest of his life that he didn't kill that boy.
It's in his eyes. She's like, "Dude, just take another shot. You hit that guy. Take the other shot." Also,
wildly unrealistic.
Very.
And then somehow this part really frustrated me because I was like, "Oh, okay, Darius is dead now." No, he's not. He lives for the next 10 minutes of the movie. Somehow.
I know. It's like he just took an arrow to the chest. They sailed him back home, put him in the thing with the arrow still in his chest.
They made it all the way from Greece back to somewhere in Iran.
So then have a horse riding transition shot. This is all from the trailer too, and the narration's still going on. By the way, actually at this point I was annoyed by it. I'm like, this is annoying. Can we just move on?
Oh well, they have to just explain to you everything that's happening in case you don't get it.
Yeah. So then we get to the palace. This is all from the trailer again, and this is when Artemisia she rolls in. She's Navy badass commander. She comes in, and I love her
Artemisia.
I love how they're the narration. She's talking about Artemisia and how badass she is, right? And she's like, she was so badass, and the only thing more badass is how beautiful she looked. And it's like, why do you have to explain that? What? It's Eva Green. Majority of people think she's very attractive.
Most of us can see her unless you're watching it with descriptors, and then that's fine too. But they're also going to get that description.
Yes.
So leave it out of the script.
Leave it out. So then there's all shots from the trailer. Slow-mo walking. So Darius is at his deathbed. He's on his little bed there.
They propped him up on the throne. It seems with the arrow sticking out of him. And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What? I guess that's a way to keep him alive for an unclear amount of time while they sailed all the way back here.
All the way back.
Dragged his body to the throne room and what the so mad.
So we get the tip here that Darius likes Artemisia more than his own sons. She's basically his right hand lady there, right? And Darius tells her, she's like, hey, leave the gods to their ways, our Greeks to their ways, right?
Only the gods can defeat the Greeks. Stay out of those guys' way. Trust me.
Leave them alone.
Yeah.
And then immediately just pulls the arrow from his chest and looks like,
rips it out.
Yeah. See ya. So now he's dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, by the way, narration's still going on, narrating this whole thing. Artemisia gets in, and then Artemisia gets in Xerxes' head, and she's like,
Right.
Hey.
Yeah. That wasn't a warning from your father. That was a challenge.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah. Only the gods can defeat them. You will become a god.
Right? Because we're going to send you on a little pilgrimage soon.
Yeah. I also love that she's like, 7 days he grieved. Like that's a really long time to grieve your dead father.
Yeah, right.
I'm pretty. You can grieve your dead father a lot longer than a week if you want.
Yeah, just not more than 2 years.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yep, that's where we put the limit. The ITMT limit on grieving.
Yeah. Like love again, 2 years. That's too much. Maybe a year. You got a year.
Dead husbands, even less time. Yeah,
even less time. Like, come on.
Yeah. A dead father might have raised you.
Yeah, right. Maybe he's a jerk. Yeah, if he was a jerk, then 7 days. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So they basically send Xerxes on a religious walk. They're like, go on a pilgrimage.
Go wander the desert.
Yeah, go find a cave full of weird looking,
full of other guys who are wandering
monks.
The desert.
Yes.
Like, wait, what?
So he finds a cave of weirdos, and he takes an evil bath, and
takes a little dip.
He takes a little dip in the evil pool, and shot from the trailer. And then they're still narrating, by the way, and they're like, no human part survived of him.
Yeah, he surrendered to powers so evil and perverse that when he emerged, no human part of him remained. And you're like, what? I want to know more about this. Don't just gloss over this part.
Yeah, how did this happen?
Can I do that?
Yeah, is this historically accurate? So he was stripped, cleansed, and smooth. in his new saw trap outfit. In his underoos now.
Yeah. I want to take a bath and be dressed immediately when I come out of it.
And come out of shining gold, looking beautiful.
Sick.
Hairless, like a
10
cat.
10 feet tall.
10 feet tall. What could go wrong?
Yep. And then this is when, from the trailer, he like walks out to his God King plank.
Yep.
And he's like, all right, everyone. Time for war. Glory's sake. Vengeance sake, baby.
Let's go. And then shot from the trailer. But then we get Artemisia. She's like killing all the dudes that Xerxes trusted before he became the God King. So shots of her just murdering everybody.
Oh, right. You're right. Yep.
Yeah, because this is when the big doors, the shot from the trailer, the big doors. This is when his return as the God King. He comes back and then leads up to him being like, let's war.
Yeah. And I forgot about the meanwhile when they killed all of his friends for some reason.
Yeah.
It's like, that'll make him stronger.
Yeah. What?
I don't think so.
You're helping the Greeks here. You're actually killing your own team.
They do a lot of that.
Yeah. A lot of that, right?
Yeah.
So he
very Russian thing to do.
Yeah, right.
These guys are expendable. Just throw them into the meat grinder.
Let's kill our own, We don't want to outnumber them that much.
It'd be unfair.
Yeah, it'd be unfair.
Yeah. I like a challenge.
And then we meet Xerxes God King here with his new improved voice, with a lion growl and a broken dishwasher. And really, we pan over to Artemisia. She's kind of like the puppet master here of the situation.
Definitely. And then we cut back to Greece.
Yeah, or in a marathon, I think, right? Maybe.
Them testicles. I think Marathon's in Greece, right? I would assume.
Yeah. And then, so, yes. It was
modern Greece.
Right, yeah. Modern Greece. We got a bunch of old white English dudes fighting over what to do.
Arguing about cocks for some reason.
I just love how they all had English accents, and I was like, this is hilarious, because they're all like old white guys. I was like, oh, that's funny. Yeah. Okay.
And some of them are Australian.
Some of them are Australian. It's a mix. It's really it's a melting pot of the time.
Yeah, and they talk about cocks a lot for the first half
hour.
Of this movie.
Yeah, there's one guy and he's like, hey man, shut your cock hole. I was like, that's a
I was like, is that a thing people say?
I don't know. I'm gonna start saying it now though.
Yeah, shut your cock hole.
Shut your cock hole. Okay.
I'll speak out of that.
Okay. And then them testicles, he's like, yo, bros, settle down. This is a democracy, not a street fight.
We can't negotiate with terrorists.
Right? We're hostages. And he goes on about what should be done, and they need to stick it together to defend, and we need ships.
I was like, you know how true peace is achieved? War.
Like, I mean,
I guess.
You got the bigger stick, right?
Yeah. Depends on how much of a lasting peace we're talking here. This is also a vengeance thing. It's going to be a cycle of vengeance, probably.
It's going to continue going, right? If he's got a son, his son will tell his son, and his, it'll go on.
There's one thing I've learned from history.
So they need ships, and he's like, I'm going to go to Sparta, and I'll ask for some help. And they're like,
everyone's like,
yeah, good luck with that one.
Sure. He's like, no, you don't understand. She's been narrating this whole time.
She's still narrating, by the way.
She's really invested in this, you guys.
So then we get soldiers traveling transition shot with elephants. It's kind of cool. I was into that. Big elephants, war elephants.
Yep. Love a good war elephant.
But it is the traveling circus of Xerxes, basically.
Yep.
On the way. And he's talking to Artemisia, and he's like, wow, we're going to crush everything. And this is when he stood up, and I was like, oh, he's like 10 feet tall. Wow, he's a tall guy. Okay.
Yep. A big one.
And basically, the long story short of that one, he's just like, yeah, we're going to crush everything. So, see this?
Tight.
I'm a god king.
Yeah, in case you forgot.
Yeah. Who's the god king? Everyone who's a god king, raise their hand.
He's like, when a king is as loved as I am, much can be accomplished. And you're like, are you loved or feared?
Yeah, because those are two different things.
Oh, is fear the root of love? Maybe.
That's the basis for a bad relationship. So then we're in Sparta now, and we got Magic Mike moment. We got the bros just training and fighting for a very long time in very slow-mo and all in their underoos.
Yep. And I was like, is that Jerry Butts? But it's not. It's just some other guy who kind of looks a little like him.
Yeah, they all look alike back then, right? So
that's right.
Yeah. It's all Greek to them, right?
So the gene pool is a lot smaller.
There's only like 300 of them. So so there's Dilios, he's just hilarious. Dilios is hanging out. He's like, hey, what's going on? What are you doing here? And the actor is like he looks like a poor man's like Nathan Fillion, but he's just weird. It looks like his beard was like glued on,
like taped on. Yeah.
Taped on. Like, hey, hey there, them testicles. What are you doing here?
I don't understand them trying to make this guy a main character. He's in the movie for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, well, isn't he a big deal in 300? He's in the
I think so. Yeah,
he's in the first middle film, Bob. But he's like, yeah, dude, right. Leonidas is already on the march. So that's how I was like, oh, this is the prequel part, right? Yeah,
I think he's still visiting the Oracle at that point.
Yeah, come on, this is all ridiculous.
Something like that, yeah.
And he goes on about like how all these guys will die by the king's side. Yada, yada. Queen Gorgo, she shows up and says something weird about stroking cockles or something like that. I don't know.
More cock. That's what we're talking about.
Stroking your cockles. I was
like, oh, you've come a long way to stroke your cock in front of what? And he's like,
what?
I don't. Is that a turn of phrase? Oh, you've traveled a long way for this.
This is so this will be part of our other podcast we're going to start soon, where we deep dive into idioms. So stroking your cockles.
It's called Let's Talk Cock.
Let's Talk Cock. It's called Shut Your Cockle.
That's right. Famous idiom.
Yeah, shut your cockle. So then them testicles, he's going on about this whole like, I want to free Greek, I want to, and are Sparta you guys in? And
she's like, there is no Greece. This is Sparta, baby.
Yeah, settle down. How would you head back up north?
Did you see the first one?
Yeah. Did you see what we did?
We all have to say this is Sparta a bunch.
Yeah, a lot. And he's like, I need your ships. And he's like, no Sparta ships. United Greece, sorry, bud. And
she's like, that seems like a you thing.
Yeah, and he's like, says something about freedom, and it kind of looks like it hit hard. And she was kind of like, oh, yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. He was like, freedom has chosen you to defend her. And you're like, I don't. Don't put words in freedom's mouth.
Yeah. Freedom ain't free.
Nope.
So then we are.
Damn right, brother.
Damn right, brother. Come on, trucker hat. All right. So then, where are we now? We're in the bad guy's ship, I think, at this point, right?
They do a little more like they like ride out, and Themistocles is like, well, the Spartans want a beautiful death, so oh well, they'll get it.
Wink, wink, camera at the you saw 300. Events soon to come. Wink, wink.
Yeah, and then we're back to Artemisia.
Yeah, and then we're back to Artemisia, and she's eating apples like a badass, just as you do as a boss, just with a knife.
And then they drag a prisoner in front of her, and he's like, "You're a whore," and she's like,
Go.
I seem to be in the position of power here.
Yeah, he immediately goes to the name calling. It's like, dude, you're not in a spot to be calling anyone a whore. Yeah, let's ease up here.
Like, you're Greek. You're a Greek whore. He's like, my heart is Persian.
Yes, because my rug is Persian. No. So we're back at the badass ship. Artemisia, she's just eating apples. She's got a Greek captive. It's the dad.
It's the dad?
Yeah, he's the spy who like swims back. Yeah.
Okay, I forgot.
Greek daddy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, and that's when he's like, "You're Greek, a Greek whore." And she's like, "No. My heart is Persian. I may be a Greek whore, but
yes, my heart is Persian. My rug is Persian. I'm all in." Right.
That's right.
And,
and then like beheads him with a knife. It's like ice as shit.
Yeah. Oh wait, this is a different guy, isn't it?
I don't know. It might be I think it's the spy. That would make sense.
No. I'm sorry. The spy. There is a spy.
Oh, the spy happens right now.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. So the captive. That's right. So she's like, all right, whatever.
This is just some guy.
Cuts off this dude's head and kisses him in front of with a knife and kisses. The same one she's using to cut the apple. That seems just not.
Ugh.
Is that a safety tip somewhere? Don't use the same knife.
Yep. No, actually, now that you say that,
I think it is right.
Yeah. It's pretty deep.
Yeah.
It's 143.
143. Yeah.
Yeah. It's I pulled it up. It says don't use your apple knife to behead people.
Yes. and then use that same knife to eat again. Yeah.
That's right.
But yes, I think don't use your apple knife to behead someone. Yeah. And then she kisses the head, and all the guys are like, that seems, I don't know, it seems kind of like a horror move, but
yeah, icky. And like then they just cut to like all of the guys being like, ew. Like, ooh, she's tapped. All right.
I'm not gonna mess with her. So then she makes so then she's like, there's the ship hand, some other guy who kind of talks back a little bit, and she's like, you got a problem with the way I run things?
Squeeze me?
You got a problem with the way I eat my apples and behead my people, like my captives? And he's like, I don't know.
He's like, but like the feared Spartans and yada yada. She's like, there's 300 of them. Relax.
Settle down. Do you see the ships I have here? Come on.
Yeah. We got 300 guys right here.
Right here.
This is like half of the ship.
On this boat.
Yeah.
Right now. And so he's like talking back, and she's like, give me your hands. Let me check out those hands. Ooh, those look like hands of a spy. Right? And
she's like, these hands aren't tough enough to do ship stuff.
No, you're a spy. Yeah. These aren't ship hands.
What?
I just shipped my hands. So he just starts, he's like, yeah, I'm a spy. Haha. And he starts like killing a bunch of dudes.
To introduce myself.
Yes. I am Samothasicles.
Yeah, he pulls off his mask.
I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for you damn Persians. So he starts murdering a bunch of Persians and just like, yeah.
I saw that episode of Scooby-Doo.
I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you darn Persians. So, he kills a bunch of dudes, and then he makes an escape, jumps into the sea, and just disappears like he's Aquaman. Yeah. I was like, that's a long swim, bro. I don't know what's your plan here, like, but
in the middle of the Mediterranean somewhere. Okay.
Good luck.
Yeah, and she's just like, coward.
I mean, guy just jumped into the sea and is swimming home. I would not call that
He killed like 10 guys on his way out.
Yeah. Took out 10 and is going to swim home. So,
and then like, I don't even know. I hate this movie because all the lines are stupid. And they're like, she's like, there's like a storm brewing, this Greek weather. Like, I don't care.
There's always a storm going on in this movie. It's always raining and thundering. It's like the weather back then was it?
Is this gonna be a plot point, or we're just saying it? Show me that. Don't narrate the weather too. Like, you're narrating enough.
Yeah. Is this some commentary on global warming? What's going on with climate change?
Warm today. Warm yesterday. Probably warm tomorrow.
We get a wide shot of all the ships. There's so many ships. I don't know how that guy swam away from all these ships, but he did. They took some arrow shots at him, and he still snuck away.
Yep.
Then we're at them's testicles little shack, his little house, his little pad. Right?
Yeah. Where they got the son and the dad, and they're like, all right, don't repeat anything you hear in this meeting. It's a super secret meeting, and then it's only important because it's a setup for later when the dad's like, my son hasn't earned a seat at the table, but you can trust him. Trust me.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. So Spybro, he's like giving all the details, talking about Artemisia there and how badass she is, and then we go into a flashback, a very long flashback about her backstory. Yes,
which I didn't understand because he was like, her family was murdered by Greek hoplites, and you're like, aren't Greek hoplites you guys?
yeah. So they're murdered by us.
Wasn't she Greek?
Yeah. So the shot from the trailer, the little girl was her as a little girl. She was watching her village get burned down, and her family just
raped and murdered.
Yeah, it's the worst of worst things.
Yep.
And then she was a boat ride. She was a prisoner on some Greek boat, and more bad stuff was happening to her.
Raped and murdered.
Yeah, pretty
without
much.
Without
the murder part, because she's still alive. And then she was left for dead. And a Persian. What was it? Emissary? Missionary?
This part was so stupid because they're like, yep, they kept her for years on this Greek slave ship. Then they like left her on a beach, and this Persian guy found her.
Yeah.
Like, what? Why?
Okay.
What?
What's okay?
And why did this guy give a shit?
And this is all narration, by the way, from our boy, Spy Boy here. So more narration in this movie. And then she vowed to like wipe out. I don't like Greeks.
I'll only return to Greece when I can watch it burn.
Nice. That's pretty badass.
Yeah.
And then we do a training montage.
Which,
montage in the flashback of her training to be badass.
This makes less than no sense. Like, first of all, we already talked about at the beginning, the history of this, of Artemisia is like actually a Greek queen who allies herself with Xerxes, whatever.
Yeah.
But like, even this backstory doesn't make any sense. If you're going to make up a backstory, make it make sense. They're like, oh, this random Persian guy found her on a beach. Turns out that Persian guy, some kind of Persian general guy.
So badass.
And and so he trains her with the finest warriors and the whole empire of Persia. And you're like, why?
Yeah.
I think this society is also probably pretty sexist. You just found this like little girl beat up on a beach.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think realistically is going to happen? Not this.
Not this. No.
Nope. Trained with the finest warriors in all of Persia. Okay.
All right. She couldn't be matched. It's like, okay.
Yeah. So they show that she couldn't be matched by her carrying around like 4 heads.
That's our buddy there, decapitated Greek Marine.
That's right.
There. So,
okay. Gotcha. Yeah. King's heads.
King's heads. So she's dragging in heads of the enemies, and
like she quickly rose to command at the side of Darius, and you're like, how? Why? None of this makes it. You're skipping over all the cool parts. How Xerxes becomes a god. Like, linger on that.
Yeah, right. And or her
linger
story.
On this.
My thought was like, just make this entire movie from her perspective and do from start to finish. You make it like a revenge thing where she's.
We're ameliorating early, but like, give me 300 Fury Road.
Yeah,
whatever.
Right. Pretty much. So then, Themistocles, we cut back to current time here, and Themistocles is like looking at the boy, and he's like, "What do you think?" And I was like,
he's like, "Well, children of the future." Don't you think? What do you think about that?
I was like, "That's a boy. He looks like he's kind of an adult."
He's like 30.
Yeah.
Well, boy, what do you think?
Boy, I'm like 32, bud. Settle down.
And he's like, well, let's fight.
He's like, I'm ready to go. And Dad's like, no, you're not. Settle down.
Yeah.
And then we get
your plan is in motion, boss. Leonidas is already marching north. He only took 300 men like a dipshit. And
he only
Themistocles is like, good. Like he's doing a Palpatine thing. I feel like this whole time.
He kind of is a little bit, right? And then that's when we cut to archival footage of G Butts there.
Yeah.
Quick shot of him. I was like,
no lines, just the face.
Just the face of G Butts. Jerry Butts in all his glory. And that's it.
And 299 of his bros.
Right. And that's a perfect time because we're about to take 299 of our episodes and march our way out of here to part 2, episode 300. Mm-hmm. See what I did there? It's pretty good.
Yeah. Very good.
Very good. Okay. Mediocre.
Yep.
Okay.
No, it's good.
Long story short, this episode's done. You. 299 is done.
Yep.
We've slain 299 episodes. We're down to 1. Yeah.
Yep, that's right. Ooh, that's a better,
Yeah, we've slain 299 episodes. Yeah, 299 episodes. Now we're down to 1. But thanks for listening. We'll be back next week. We'll be back on Thursday with part 2, episode 300.
That's right.
Rise of an Empire. Rise of the ATMT Empire.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram. It's This Meets That. Subscribe where you listen to podcasts. Set us down, auto download, and tell a friend.
Or tell your enemies across the world, maybe in Persia. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts, where most Persians read reviews.
That's right.
And 5 stars would be great. But you don't have to if you don't want to. 1 or 2's, well, don't do 1 or 2.
No, that's mean.
Yeah.
That's just mean.
At that point, just abandon your mission.
Just go Google something else.
But don't abandon us, and instead send us an email. It's thismeetsthat@gmail.com. We read them in trailer trash, fan service. Love to see it. Love to get those. Send us something for 301, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice?
That would be nice.
Start off the 300s with a
into the 300s.
Fan service. Or go to the website, because you can find all of these at this point 299 episodes. There's info about the show, the cast and characters that we talk about occasionally.
Yeah, it's
every 10 episodes or so.
Yeah, I forgot it. Yeah, we got a couple people there.
Yep. Information about Russ's book Host, which I'm always lying and saying is on the website, but instead just go buy it wherever you buy books.
Yeah, you can just Google it.
Yeah, and we got merch, t-shirts, mugs, tapestries. Yeah, all of that and more.
Tote bags.
It's thismeetsthat.com. 300, here we come.